What's up, YouTubers? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. No, I'm not going to rip off Pete or any other intros. I just did that for fun one day. I told my daughters I'm going to do Pete's intro one day and see if anybody noticed. But anyways, thanks for y'all that had fun with that. Welcome back to Central North Carolina. Welcome back to my lawn here. I want to talk about GCI turf seed versus the Jonathan Green seed. We are now almost in May. This past fall, we planted once again GCI turf type tall fescue seed in our lawn. We've done that for 2 years. Actually, we did GCI turf type tall fescue the first year I did seed, then I did GCI cool blue. This year we did once again the turf type tall fescue, but we also did some spreader elite in the backyard. So we're going to talk about, is there any differences that I'm seeing in my lawn from the Jonathan Green that I put down? We talked about I did solar green and dense shade mix. Are we seeing a difference? Obviously, we wouldn't have a video if we didn't have something to talk about. So we're going to go out here in the backyard and talk about that. Thank you for joining the video. Let's talk about Jonathan Green dense shade mix versus the what I have here in my backyard, GCI turf type tall fescue. Let's do it. So once again, we'll just start right here in front of me. There is a shadow here. Notice that we talked about this. I put some dense shade mix here right in front of this rock because at this time of year, we start getting a shadow. And you can see it right here all the way until the late evening when the sun starts getting over in this general area, and then we get some direct sunlight here, but otherwise it's shaded here. So I did some dense shade mix right in this area where it's shaded. Now if you just look right here, I don't know what you guys can see, it's kind of hard, I got a glare on my phone, but it looks like it blends in pretty well here to me. It does look a little bit darker, but you have to keep in mind, remember we did the green effect and I went a little heavy on the trim pass, and so did that make it look darker than it really is? I'm not sure, so it's not really fair to test that, but I did put some here. So before we get into the difference between the color of Jonathan Green and GCI seed, let's talk about what's back here. So back in the backyard right here, all of this where my hand is in the very, what I call the main part of the backyard here, not on the tree line, but right here is GCI turf type tall fescue and spreader elite. We did both because we did spreader elite all the way to the edge of the house over here. All this is spreader elite, which is a spreading fescue, very slow but supposed to spread. But we had a washout in the middle of the lawn and we had to reapply seed, so we did the turf type tall fescue. It was cheaper and it was what I had. So that's what's right here in the main body. As we've talked about several times, if you're new, back in the shaded area, it was not shaded when we did it, and it was like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. But now we're getting, as I was saying and have updated you guys, we're now getting the leaves on the trees. They're popping up, we're getting the shade, and so now we're now casting a shadow. It's a cloudy day, so you're not even getting the full sun right now, but on the edge of the wood line back here, we did Jonathan Green dense shade mix. Now I think it would have been more appropriate to do the sun and shade mix, but I did the dense shade mix and it is what it is. But I don't know if you guys can tell. I can visually see right here in this picture right here, right, and I'm going to describe what I see. Let's see on the camera right here, all the way around here to the slide backwards is darker green than this. It looks like a shadow. Some of it may be a little bit shadowy, but it is a darker green grass. It was like this last night at 8 o'clock, and it's like it right now. Even right here in front of me, right here, you guys should be able to see right here at the playground section, and even right here as I outline it, all of that behind it is a darker green grass. Right here, you can see the shadow. The shadow actually comes out to here. That's more of the same color, but right about right here, the grass begins to get darker green. Now at nighttime, you can really tell a difference. So now that I've shown you from far away, as we get closer, it's just a different type of grass. Again, I've been pleased with GCI seed, and please, this is not, we have some GCI guys that watch the channel. This is not to diss GCI seed, to say that Jonathan Green's better or anything like that. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing. Even right here, can you guys see that color difference? Like it's like it goes light and then just darker. It's just a darker grass. Jonathan Green dense shade mix is just a darker grass. It's got ryegrass in it, the mix. It's got a little bit, very small percentage of bluegrass, tall fescue of different cultivars. And obviously, if you're new to my channel, over here we planted back a couple weeks ago, I think in March, we threw some of that dense shade mix right here around this tree. It was just a bare area. I said, you know what, let's test this. Let's see if it can survive, being that we are in a shaded area right here where the sun's not going to totally beat down on this grass. And so far it's doing pretty well. But all the seed around it is 100% Jonathan Green seed, so it should end up blending in with this when it matures eventually. But there is just a no, and I asked my wife, I said, look out the window right now. I said, look at the grass, look at the edge of the lawn versus the middle of the lawn. It's just different types of grass blades. So as we get in here, you can just kind of see that's kind of what the GCI turf is looking like. And it's nothing against it. It looks good. It's just a lighter color. When we get over here, and yes, we are a little bit in the a little bit of shadow here, but as I hold it down, can you tell? Because I can totally tell. It's just a little bit darker green naturally. We've applied the same protein. We've applied the same green effect upon the whole yard besides our little trim pass there. But all of that is GCI turf seed. But all of this, I mean, and it looks good. It doesn't, it's not, you have to stand here and really like stare at it and be like, is that a little bit darker? And you can tell. It's not that obvious, but man, I'm really impressed. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this dense shade mix with Jonathan Green, so much so, which as we walk and I show you this stuff, we were talking last night, I'm not going to go GCI seed this coming fall, simply for the fact, not because I don't like it, but because I've used it now for 3 years. I want to try something different. I'm a YouTuber as well. I want to show you guys different products, different seeds. I'm definitely going to be looking at something in a heat drought type grass seed, and Jonathan Green may be something that I try because they promote the 4-foot roots and all this, and I like the way this dense shade, it's just a beautiful green color. I love that naturally, and they even promote that in their marketing. They say you don't have to use as much fertilizer for Jonathan Green because it's such a rich green naturally. And you know what, I'm tending to believe what they're saying right here. You can kind of see between over here and over here, it's just a darker green grass. I can tell. It's beautiful. And when you get up close, that's what's really like over here. I've got one little section right here of Jonathan Green dense shade mix. This is all dense shade mix, and it's just beautiful. It's just when it's cut the same length, and you just kind of pan over it, man, it just looks so good. It's just a beautiful green, healthy looking grass, and it's just, I just love it. I'm just very highly impressed with it. So anyways, so I'm going to be looking at, do I want to go Jonathan Green? Do I want to go with a, like Seed Superstore with something that's tailored for North Carolina for heat and drought? Because depending on what happens back here, if we totally go and lose a lot of our lawn, I may end up killing off some of the front yard, because I do have, as somebody mentioned, I have clumps of Kentucky 31 and old Scots mix and old just junk in there. I've never fully killed off my front yard. So I've considered, if we do lose half the front yard, I may kill all that off and just start over with 100% turf type tall fescue in the front yard and then overseed from there. But the lawn looks great, as you guys have pointed out, and not to brag or boast or anything like that, the lawn looks great. I'm very happy, but man, the color difference between between out here on the GCI seed versus getting right here, you can just see that darkening. And it's not because I've applied anything heavier, it's just the natural color of Jonathan Green. I'm impressed. I thought they were full of crap. Now, we do have to point out, on the bag of GCI turf, it's 100% weed-free seed, and people all over the country are using GCI turf seed, and rightly so. It's a great product. Now, Jonathan Green, while it is to me, seems to be a darker natural green grass, it does have, I believe, 0.02 or 0.03 weeds in the seed, meaning, if you're new to all this, that when you sow the seed, there's 0.02% of weeds in the grass seed. So you're sowing weeds into your yard. With Pete's and with GCI turf, you are 100%, there's no weeds coming out of that bag into your lawn. So there is a benefit there. That's what I'm seeing back here. Let's jump in the front yard real quick, and I'll show you how the solar green is. Up here, if you're new to the channel, we did solar green right around where the bank starts, the incline right here. This is all solar green, by Jonathan Green. It's supposed to be a mix for drought, Texas bluegrass, tall fescue, maybe a little bit of ryegrass. It was a dry spot here the other day, which I was like, oh great, here we go again. Even the solar green with Texas bluegrass and tall fescue started to stress out. I had to come and water it yesterday. But this, I don't notice really a difference. Now, maybe it's because it's a different mix, obviously. But blending all this in with GCI Cool Blue and turf type tall fescue, I don't notice a difference between the solar green at all. So that's that. And the same over here on the bank. Yesterday, this was stressing out. Had to throw out the sprinklers. But as far as color, I don't really notice between the rest of the yard and the solar green from Jonathan Green, it's not as much of a standout as that dense shade mix. So it goes to show you, if you buy a bag of Black Beauty and you mix it with GCI turf, are you going to see a color difference? I'm not sure. The solar green, to me, with the Texas bluegrass, the tall fescue, if it's stressing out here already, it tells me it's likely not the seed. It's not GCI seed. It's not solar green seed. It's something underneath this section of the bank. It's got rocks or something that's causing this, because this always stresses out. Yes, I understand it's by the pavement here, and that's what we're saying. Like, you can already see where some of the grass is dying off, and so some of this inside the bank, you know, a little more is starting to stress out, I believe, because there's rocks, there's a big rock or something. But as far as the color and mixing it with what's already over here, it's not a major difference. I don't see a big color change here like I do in the backyard with the dense shade mix. So there you go for that. And again, as I was mentioned before, if we lose half our lawn, we just, and it's not, you know, obviously I'm going to try not to make that happen, but if it does happen that the heat just comes and it just boom, it just knocks out a lot of my grass, we may end up killing, I hate to do it, especially with the tree ring and all that, we may end up killing off some of this and redoing, you know, I've got some patches I know over here and some things that pop up right here in front of me that's like old Kentucky 31 that looks like my dad's lawn, stuff like this that I'm pretty sure you can see how thick those blades are. It just looks like it's a different color. It's a lighter color. You can kind of see that right here. Killing all that off and just making it all 100% turf type tall fescue. It needs to happen eventually. But anyways, so that's kind of the difference that I'm seeing between Jonathan Green and GCI turf. So that's the difference that I'm seeing between the Jonathan Green and the GCI turf. So if you're looking towards fall, if you're looking towards, you know, what type of seed do I want to buy for this fall for my first lawn, you've got options. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope it's been entertaining. Hope it's been educational. Hope it helps somebody, again, that's maybe picking seed for the future. So hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not, if you would consider doing so. Remember the midweek quickie over on the Mr. Ferguson vlog channel. We're doing the midweek quickies on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Check those out. Give them a thumbs up if you would. I'd appreciate it. And I think that's it. We'll see you on Wednesday with another video, hopefully here from Central North Carolina. God bless.